there's obviously a lot of examples for that. One of my very good experience, not my experience, but one of our experiments I like a lot is the Grandmaster Experiment. So what they did with the Grandmaster Experience, because like everyone thinks like these chess masters or these grandmasters, they have like some super brain power or like a photographic memory or something like that, right? As they can remember and recall every possible outcome of a specific chessboard and sometimes play with the eyes closed and play multiple people at once and all that stuff and think 10 steps ahead and all that stuff because everyone thinks they're like superheroes, right? So they made a very interesting experiment to test how much more memory of chess masters have in comparison to an average chess player and an absolute amateur chess player. Again, a chess player who still knows how to play chess, but is an absolute amateur, and an average chess player who already is like good at it, right? So they showed a chessboard in the middle of a game, right? As you can see here, just a chessboard of the middle of the game, and showed it to these three candidates. Okay, so the first one was again a chess master, a grandmaster. The other one was an average chess player, and the other one was an absolute chess amateur. Okay, knows the rules, but just an amateur at the game, right? So what they tested is, or the task was, to replicate the exact position of each of the pieces of the chessboard, right? So what they had to do, again, they gave them an empty chessboard, put all the pieces like here, right? Just showed them the picture for 5 seconds and then covered the picture so they couldn't see it anymore, right? So then they had time to, okay, oh, I remember the rook was here, so I put the rook in here. Then I think the other rook was kind of in here. Okay, take the other rook in here. So let's say, for example, okay, now I forgot where all the other pieces were, perfect. Then you could have peek again at the picture, so take the cover off to see the whole chessboard again, but only for 5 seconds, okay? So then look at it for 5 seconds. Okay, 3 pawns in here. Perfect. Bishop in here. Okay, so 3 pawns in here. Awesome. Bishop in here. And king was somewhere here. Then I forgot, blah, blah, blah. And I peek again. And they tested how many peeks to the board you need until you can rebuild the whole chessboard. Okay? So again, the task was to find out how many peeks of the chessboard necessary to rebuild the whole chessboard. So the result of the first test was quite obvious, right? So what a surprise. The A, like the chess master, needed the less peaks. What a surprise, right? The average chess player needed the second less peaks. What a surprise. And C, the absolute amateur, needed the most peaks. Like nothing is surprising here, right? So of course, that was very expected, and that was not what the experiment was about. It was just to confirm, first of all, yes, okay, makes perfect sense, that's expected. The real experiment, though, was something different. So they took these 3 candidates again, but this time they showed them a chessboard with a fully random combination of the pieces. A fully unlogical combination, as you can see in here, that would never even be possible to appear in a real chess game. And they had to remember the exact positions of the pieces and reconstruct it once again on the blank chessboard. So same exact experiment, so taking an empty chessboard in here, all the pieces on the side, but they showed them a fully random chessboard. Again, it would never be possible in a real game of chess that the king is next to the other queen in here. It simply wouldn't happen, right? Or like everything. If we look in here, it just doesn't even make sense, right? So they did the same experiment. So what do you think the outcome was this time? Like how many peaks did everyone need in order to recall the fully random chessboard? Again, everyone thinks like these chess grandmasters, they have like this photographic memory and can recall everything and blah, blah. So what do you think this outcome was this time with a fully random chessboard? With a random combination of the pieces on all of the chessboard, all three candidates needed the same exact amounts of peaks to recall the chessboard. So that means that the chess master or the grandmaster does not have a better memory than the absolute amateur. They both have the same exact memory, because how else can the grandmaster take exactly the same peaks as the absolute amateur? So the chess master simply can combine his logic experience and thousands of repetitions of chess moves better than the other two. Again, if you go back to this chessboard, the grandmaster saw this piece on here, like this basic starting of the chessboard, thousands and thousands of times. He knows exactly that the pawns obviously should be at the beginning of the game in here, that the rook should be here. At the beginning, the king should be here, the queen here, and the bishop in here, because they simply didn't move yet. So he saw that thousands and thousands of times, and obviously you can figure out like these pieces because they're logic. The logic in a game that could happen in a real game, maybe so like hundreds of times already. So for him, it's just much more logical to recall. But from the amateur, obviously he doesn't know that stuff right away. So he has to kind of really think through it, and obviously remembering stuff for him is harder. But if it's random, completely random, again, the chess master never saw this combination here because it simply doesn't even make sense. Right? It's completely unlogical in a real game of chess. So that's why the memory is exactly the same, because he never see this picture as well. He starts at 0. Right? But that just shows again that that means for you, you are not worse than every successful trader, or not dumber than anyone else, or not whatever. Like, it's just that you did not put so much time and experience and effort into it than a trader who is on a much better level than you, right? So that just means the other person you look up to just put more effort, work, reputation, and has overall more experience, right? You should not be like, oh, I'm the smartest man alive. That doesn't mean anything, right? But again, that just shows on real experiments that everyone has the same exact like foundations, and then it's up to you what you make out of it or not. Again, there's no more people more talented than you. Again, they just put in more practice, effort, and repetition and having experience. So you can do the same.